Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the webinar. My name is John Shear with Partners Advantage. I want to welcome you to today's webinar, which features Diego Krog, who is the Regional Vice President for Ameritas. Ameritas, for those that aren't aware, they are a mutual company here and actually 20 minutes from my backyard here in Lincoln, Nebraska. Their big push has been mostly in the group debt. They've been a life insurance career shop for quite some time. About 3 years ago, they made a big push to jump into the independent space. We're all in. One of the biggest jumps that they've made is when they came out with the new FLX product that came out here just recently, and they're making the product's having great momentum. And when Diego starts talking about it, the reason it's been doing it, getting the momentum it has, is that pay attention closely when he starts talking about the living benefits section of this product, because they use a unique way when it comes to executing the living benefits. I'm going to let Diego explain that a little bit more. Diego, I'm going to turn it over to you. One housekeeping. As you notice in the bottom right hand, there's a chat box. If you have any questions, don't forget to type them in there. Time permitting, we'll answer those at the end of the presentation. So, Diego, I will turn it over to you.
Well, thank you, and thank you everybody for spending a few minutes with us today. I promise to keep this as brief as possible, but really the idea is to see if I can give you something that adds value to your business, something new to say, something that potentially will give your client a better product, which is really what you are. You're an independent agent, and you're out there looking at what the insurance companies offer and match what you believe is the best product out there. So as John said, the area that I'm in is fairly new. I came about 6 months ago into this position, but have about 20 years of experience. And I was looking at this and I said, what is it about this product that is special? What is that thing that is maybe somewhat unique and, in my opinion, makes us very, very attractive, or if not the best, one of the best. And that's what I really want to share with you today. We do term with living benefits and IUL with living benefits on the FLX series. And term is very simple, but the living benefits portion of it are identical on both. Okay, so if you know one, you know both. In my opinion, an IUL, and I think you will agree with me, is truly designed for accumulation, right? People want to accumulate as much money as possible with the ultimate goal of funding a tax-free retirement or college or the down payment on a house or whatever. So, but really what the client is going to look at every year is not the living benefits. That's a nice perk to have. It's a really nice thing to have. But when the statement comes, they're going to see how much money did I make. So with that, I think you have a moral duty to say, okay, which product out there, based on the design and whatnot, has the potential to give my client the most money, and that's what will make you a hero in your client's eyes. So when you're looking at, like most agents, they look at the S&P 500 and they say, well, we're just going to do the S&P 500 annual point to point. If you were doing that, the highest caps potentially will be the carrier that gives you the more potential, but we all know that not all the other features of the product are equal. So in an equal scenario, fine, you look at the highest caps as most potential. But if you really want to be a hero to your agent, you had a conversation about the allocations, about the indexes, about what you're performing or reflecting, because again, that's what they're going to remember when you meet them or you talk to them a year later. And what we have that is unique is the BMP, the BMP Paribas Momentum 5 Index. And this index, you may have seen it on the Athene annuity. They are the only ones who have it on the annuity space, but we are the only ones who have it on the IUL space. And what I like about this index is that you really give your client a true diversification in many ways. For example, when you're looking at the S&P 500, you're basically talking about the top 500 companies, right? And their performance. They do well, you get a portion of the of that because you're mirroring or reflecting their performance. But if they don't do well, then you never know. In these days, we all know that a tweet can change everything. It's very uncertain. We don't know. It could be great. It could not be so great. There is a lot of noise going on in the space. So one way to minimize risk or optimize maximization is to look at different things. What I like about the Momentum 5 is that you're not only looking at the 500 companies, but you're looking at equities, you're looking at bonds, you're looking at real estate and commodities. So you're diversifying not only between index components, because now you have those 4 broad categories, but you're also diversifying globally. What do I mean by that? You can see in the screen that in the bonds section, for example, you have Europe, you have the United States, you have Japan. So you're looking at all the different parts of the world. The BNP Momentum is the National Bank of Paris, is huge. And they're looking at what sections in the planet are doing better or worse within these categories: equities, commodities, real estate, bonds. And if one area is not doing so well, they move the money to the other side. You see what I mean? So they have a much bigger diversification, and also from a regional perspective, they have a broader outlook. The other thing that is neat about this is that the 14 components that you see on the screen, every single day, this index reallocates to the 8 best. So they take out of those 14, which 8 are performing better. And they reallocate money daily on a daily basis. So it's going to minimize the chances of getting lower numbers. And the last thing they do to control the risk is as the volatility gets high, so if the volatility exceeds 5%, they move the money into cash for a little while. And when the volatility lowers, they move the money back into the index components. So think about this. I also have a 3.5-minute video that I will make available to all of you that BNP created, and it really explains this process. I listened to it 16 times, and I got it. And I was like, great. So you have a lot of diversification, a lot of components to choose from. You choose the best state globally, and if there is volatility, you move it into cash. Well, why is this important? Because again, if that tweet happens, you're protected. You have other ways to go, other avenues to go. And lastly, the other thing is that the potential is not limited. We give you an uncapped return, and we also give you 170% participation on an annual point-to-point, or 225% on a 2-year point-to-point. Some people don't like the 2-year because it's difficult to tell a client you're not going to see a change in 2 years, but if you really understand this, is not a bad option either. The good news is that you can do 50-50, or you can put 75 in the BNP, 25 on the S&P. We have the Russell. I mean, we have 6 different things. We have an engine for an accumulation perspective that is competitive with any IUL. Even IUL Digest named this product the best IUL for this index in particular. So if the ultimate goal of a person is to get the most money, to accumulate the most money, you have an engine here that is uncapped that does well. But enough said. Why don't I show you what we have done in the past? At least, I mean, obviously the future is unknown, but it gives you an idea of what can potentially happen in the future, right? It's not a promise, but it's an idea. So what I have here is I took 2 different views. One of them is we look at the last 15 years, 10 years, 5 years, and 1 year. And the most the 2 indexes that people select the most out of the 6 options we offer are the S&P 500, which, by the way, we don't have a bad cap either. 11.75 is a nice cap if you want to put some money there. And then I use the BNP on the annual point-to-point with 170% participation, meaning that if the index has 10, we'll credit 17. And as you can see here, I mean, I don't have a 19 yet. This is the 18 number on the 1-year one, but it's about 2 points higher than the S&P, regardless of how you look at it. So I was like, okay, that's nice. And then I look at the last 6 months, the most current 6 months. And for those of you who want it, We have these available since the inception of the product. Month by month, I can send you the returns on both of them, on all the indexes that we have. John has it, he's seen it. I will display it in a minute. But it's pretty impressive to see that, I mean, if you bought the policy in 2018, in I don't know, in December of 2018, in 2019, we actually credit those people 15.34% on the VMP. Had they been on the S&P at the time, a year ago, our cap was 12.25, so they would have gotten 12.25. It's not bad either, right? But the cap now is 11.75, so it would have been a little more limited on the S&P. And we know that if the average return on those last 6 months is 7%, the other one is 11. Hey, we have a product that potentially is going to give you 2 or 3% more than others. Over many years, that's going to make a significant difference, which means your clients are going to like you more. They're going to have a better retirement or more money for whatever they want. So very, very attractive and competitive engine when it comes to accumulation. The other thing that is, in my opinion, an attractive feature is that we give you a bonus of 50 basis points beginning on year 11. And this bonus is attached to nothing. It's basically, we look at the account value and we say, this is your account value. We're going to give you 50 basis points in addition to whatever the index does, right? But it's not a percentage of the gains. It's not one of those bonuses that are complicated, hard to explain. There is no cost. So you know what I mean? It's the account value, the index is 0, you still get 50 basis points. So your new 0 is 50 basis points from year 11, half a point going forward. Okay, the first 10 years, worst case scenario is 0. Going forward is going to be worst case scenario, half a point, plus obviously whatever the index return. So simple, nice, competitive, a lot of potential. History shows great numbers. Hey, let's do 50-50, figure it out, but definitely have this conversation with your client, allocate to different things, and protect them, give them the most potential. So my favorite part in the product, accumulation, but accumulation is great, but you have to have good living benefits because we all need them. I own this product myself. So when you look at the living benefits side of the house, you say, well, are we competitive? Well, we have 18 qualifiers, 18 ways to access money while you are alive. 15 critical illnesses, 2 chronic, so basically 2 out of 6 ADLs and cognitive impairment, and terminal. And we don't wait, we will give to you right away. There is a few days on 4 things that you can see on the screen, but it's pretty immediate. So these are the same on both the term and the IUL. And you can always buy a term and convert into an IUL. The other thing that makes us special, I guess, or the most or unique, is how we play living benefits on the IUL, not on the term. Because with most companies, they tell you, if you get sick, if you get cancer or an illness, we're going to give you up to 90%, like we do on the term. We're going to pay, but we don't really know. If the client says, how much am I going to get if I get cancer? I don't know, up to 90%, but depending on how severe it is, depending on life expectancy, depending on some factors and some formulas, but we don't have that number. What we do is different. We tell you we do have the number. If you have $1 million policy and you get cancer, we don't care how severe it is. Stage 1, stage 2, stage 4, we don't care. We will give you 25%. If you have a chronic disease or illness, we give you 50, and if you have terminal, 75% of your death benefit amount. Paid to you as a death benefit, which means it's tax-free. But you know it on day 1. The other thing that we do is we don't really take the money from your policy. We do this, it's almost like we use the policy as a guarantee. So when you buy a car or you buy a house, you borrow money from a bank, and the bank puts a lien on your title, right? But you can still utilize the vehicle or the house to make money. You can use the car to do Uber or Lyft, or you can rent the house and do Airbnb or rent it out as a property. And all the money that you make, even though you have a loan on that property, it's still your money, it's still your gain. The same way with us. You have an IUL, you get sick, let's say you have a chronic illness, we give you a check for 25% of your death benefit, but the money comes from Ameritas, not from your policy. Your policy continues to perform and grow as if no money was taken. I know it sounds a little weird, right? What do you mean? So I had $1 million policy, you took $250,000 out, but I'm still making money like nothing came out? Correct. That is how we do it. It's called the lean approach. And this is going to help you because ultimately, like I said earlier, IULs are designed for accumulation. So why destroy that engine? Here is an example of how we do it. We have these two people, 45 male standard, funding the policy for 20 years, $12,000 a year, $1 million death benefit is the concept, okay? After 20 years, if they start at 45, Bob and Lee have 317,000, identical. They stop paying. Lee gets sick with a critical illness. We cut him a check for $250,000, but look, that policy continues to grow exactly the same way as Bob, because the money didn't come out of his policy, the money came out of Ameritas that generated a loan. It's a loan that the 250 is going to generate interest, it's going to increase over time. And the only thing that we say is, Lee, since we give you $250,000 already out of your $1 million death benefit, if you die, we're going to deduct, the money that we gave you plus the interest from the death benefit. So it's a dollar for dollar reduction. So for example, if you look at Bob at age 106, assuming he lived that long, his death benefit is 4.2 million, right? 2.2. We say, okay, if you die, we give you 4.2 million. Lee, however, we say is 4.2 million minus the 713,000 that $250,000 grew to over all those years. So we give you 3.5. So we basically say you pay the loan when you die. But also, Lee, if you think you're going to walk away with your money at some point in between, what we're going to do is also take it out of your cash value. So if you are done with us and you don't want anything to do with us, fine. You have the $4.2 million of cash value minus the loan, you get 3.5. It's a dollar for dollar reduction, but it didn't stop the growth. In this case, they have $317,000 of cash value. Some of you may ask, Diego, why don't I just take a loan for $250,000? The reason why is because if we were to do that, the account value will be reduced proportionally. So the growth going forward wouldn't be as attractive. Here, Lee has the potential to make, 7, 8, 16%, depending on the BMP and whatever allocations. Well, he has a loan in there that is paying, 3.5%. So you're making money on money you borrow. So really cool story. And the last thing I'm going to say, because I know I'm out of time, is that in most cases, if you take, in all the products that I know that use the other approach, the discount approach, if you take a full acceleration because you get sick, your policy lapses. You have nothing left. You are potentially not insurable anymore. And we all know that people have cancer or things. These days they recover. And wait, I was 45 when I bought this. This was my retirement backup plan. Now I don't have a policy and I'm not insurable. I'm in trouble. Yeah, you did help me when I was sick. You gave me some money. You helped me with the doctor bills and whatever I did. But I'm in trouble. Well, we say, no, don't worry about it. We can do both. So in this scenario, what I'm showing is Bob, who didn't take an acceleration because he didn't use the living benefits. We say, Bob, okay, now you have all this money. From age 65 to 85, you can take variable loans of 25,000 and change. Lee, we gave you $250,000, but so we're going to give you a reduced version of that, but you can still take variable loans of 14,000 and change. So with us, you can have a living benefit and income, a reduced version of it. With other companies, you can have a living benefit or income. You see the difference? So these, in my opinion, are the two factors, the two things on our policy that makes us extremely attractive, because your accumulation, again, doesn't get affected by a living benefit. Yeah, you do have a loan and interest, I get it, but at least you can continue to grow it nicely and you can still have the income or satisfy your needs. You're still insured, you still have a death benefit, and so on. So hopefully this makes sense, and I know you may be typing some questions, but the best things we have. Lastly, the underwriting, we have a true non-med. We will never, ever, ever ask for fluids if it's under 300,000. Okay, we can go to a million non-med, but 300,000 to a million, we potentially may ask you for fluids. If it's under 300,000, it's a true non-med, never fluids, up to age 70, and we can go, as good as a rapid standard or prefer standard or rapid standard, or the classes you can get. Never ask for that. We don't use LexisNexis, so it's not a computer making a decision. We do use a TransUnion for a morbidity check on your financial behavior. It's not a credit check. It's are you financially behaving properly, and the higher the score, the better rate you're gonna get, right? It means like, do you have a lot of collections? Do you have a lot of debt to income ratio? So what is your behavior like? A good behavior, if you have a very low score, it will actually move you up in class. So you have a standard, you have a good financial behavior, will move you to prefer. So it could benefit you. So again, we can go to a million, 860, 70 to 300,000. And from a perspective of how this helps your business, you can compete with anybody. When you have an index with 170% participation, that is uncapped, that is diverse, that is looking at different components of the indexes globally, you can compete with anybody with accumulation. And you know that you can have living benefits, and I can tell you tomorrow on application day how much you will get in the event of. I can also tell you that you can take a living benefit and you don't kill your policy. You can take a living benefit and maybe have what you wanted. The goal was income later. We can do a reduced version of it because you got sick, but you can have it, and a true non-med. Those are the things that I believe will add value to your business and put you in a very good competitive space if you're competing against somebody or recruiting somebody. Again, there's not a lot of people with this contract. This was created only 2.5, 3 years ago. So about 7,000 people in the country. You have an app. Take it now that it's still small. Grow with us and use it as something that is unique. People don't have this index. So I really look forward to working with you. My number is on the screen. Our support team is on the screen as well. The 800 number, they're great. We can do illustrations, show you how to do the e-app, so hopefully get appointed and give us a try. So at this point, thank you for your time. And John, if there are any questions, I'll do my best to answer them.
Thank you, Diego. Yeah, we do have some questions out there. One of the questions that I have been given to us, are they going to be able to get access to the PowerPoint or PDF?
Absolutely, yeah. I send it to you and Travis. Feel free to send it to anyone who wants it. Absolutely.
Okay.
I also have the spreadsheet, if in case somebody wants it. I have the spreadsheet here showing all of our index allocations and the actual crediting. For example, this is the VMP since the product was created. Every single rate of return. Look at this, 1695 for somebody who bought it a year ago. I mean, this is doing great. But this will show you the S&P. It will show you all of our indexes, so you can judge it yourself. And this is what we actually credit in existing policies. So I will be happy to provide that as well.
Okay. Somebody just quick typed in, would that spreadsheet be client approved?
What is the question? Yeah, well, you can show it. I mean, this is what they have given credit people in the past. Obviously it's not a guarantee of the future, but yeah, you can show the actual crediting numbers. We're just being upfront of what people are getting.
Okay.
So you can definitely show them. Disclosing that it's not a guarantee of the future.
No. The question was, is that client approved and can they show their client? The other question is, could you talk briefly about...
Yeah. Go ahead.
Sorry about that. I think there's a little bit of delay on Ring Central.
Yeah, it was mostly, John, an internal document that the actuary shared with us with the numbers. I mean, and I think that the agent is to educate, to help you balance and say, okay, if I'm going to make a recommendation, I did my homework, I look at some of the returns, this product seems to do better than others. But I wouldn't say it's a piece that I have sent to somebody in compliance and say, is this client approved? No, that's not the case. But the agent should know that, you know, what he's selling and see the actual returns.
Okay, fair enough. Well, that was the last question we had. The other question, the last question we had was whether or not these living benefits are available on term. They are.
Yeah, the living benefits are on everything. I mean, you get all chronic, critical, and terminal. Everybody gets them. There is no, if you have this, we'll take the chronic out, nothing like that. Everybody gets them. Either you get them or you decline. And they're available in 49 states. We're not in New York, but everywhere else we are. So, yes, they're included in the FLX term and the FLX IUL. In the term, we pay based on severity and life expectancy. In the IUL, we pay based on those percentages, 25% for chronic, for critical, chronic is 50 and 75. You know what it is day one. That's the only difference, how we pay. But the living benefits are identical on both.
Okay. Well, I want to keep on time. We're about to the half hour. I want to appreciate everybody that got on the call today. Diego, I appreciate you taking your time down in San Antonio to make yourself available to do the presentation today. If you have any questions, feel free to give us a call here at Partners Advantage, 888-251-5525. The main fast number or fast team number is then extension 555. Everybody have an incredible weekend. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.